Chronic, non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cancer, heart attacks, and strokes are affecting the lives of many men prematurely, not just in the British Virgin Islands, but the Caribbean region. The concern is that we men are at a higher risk because generally we do not visit our physicians regularly until it's too late. This is the concern of the ladies at the Kingarten Bay Baptist Church, who will be addressing the risk factors and strategies for living a healthy lifestyle during the month of May. In addressing this concern, they will be hosting a men's health seminar titled Man Up on Wednesday, May 15 at 7 p.m. at the church in Kingarten Bay. First Lady of the Kingarten Bay Baptist Church, Mrs. Marion M. Turnbull, is with us in studio to shed some light on the upcoming event and its paramount importance to the men of our community. In addition, one of the featured speakers for the event, Dr. Kedrick Pickering, tells us exactly what we as men can expect from such an event. He talks health, balancing family and career, as well as manning up in 2019. In Road Town, 284 Media, I'm Ron Grant.
Get online today with CCT Go Fast LTE. Simply select from any one of our Go Fast LTE plan options. Each plan offers unlimited wireless residential internet and are priced to suit your budget and required data speed. Stop by any one of our locations and speak with one of our representatives and get online with Go Fast LTE, the BVI's preferred choice for reliability, speed, and affordability. CCT Life Unlimited.
Mrs. Turnbull, welcome to 284 Media Studios.
Well, thank you, Ron, for having me.
This is quite an exciting event, one that I myself am looking forward to attending, just because it is of paramount importance. Tell me where the concept came about.
We were discussing in our ladies' ministry one night and looking at the various illnesses that are affecting men, that are affecting families, because the men who are the head of the house, they're not compliant with what they're supposed to be doing.
Pretty defiant, actually.
Yes. So we decided that it would be best to have a discussion and have some presenters and talk about why it is so important for men to go to the doctors.
Well, you talk about men and us being the head of the household, but clearly it is an unprecedented love and support of the women who surround us, whether our wives or parents, who are sometimes have to take our own health into their hands. And clearly the ladies of Kingarten Bay Baptist Church are doing this.
Yes, very true. Because, men are men, but when they get ill,
There's nothing
babies.
There's nothing like the man flu.
Yes.
It's the roughest thing.
You have to actually take them in your hands and baby them. They need that tender, loving care, even if it's just a headache. But sometimes they go to the extreme where they're feeling ill, things are changing. The wife is encouraging the man to go to the doctor. And he is bluntly refusing. I can handle this. Right. I can do this on my own. And a lot of times we're finding that when they attend the doctor's office, some of the illnesses are so late, it's so complicated. Whereas if it was addressed previously and earlier, could avoid a lot of the symptoms that they're experiencing.
As First Lady of the Kingarten Bay Baptist Church, what are some of the risk factors or issues that you see affecting not only the men of your congregation, but also in the community?
We are losing a lot of our men. And because of them not complying with, the medical aspect, we're losing men, we're losing fathers, we're losing uncles, we're losing just men, period. Do
you think it's particularly directed to anything that we're doing, maybe type of lifestyle, any activities?
Yes, I think the lifestyle of men in the BVI has gone haywire.
Tell me more about that when you say haywire.
Men are not compliant. They want to go out, they want to drink, they want to smoke, they want to hang out, they want to eat what they want to eat. Because why? They are men, right? They don't feel they will be affected.
So is there any way for a man to feel as though he could not only live his life, perhaps enjoy certain perks that he's accustomed to, but in a healthier way, instead of feeling almost like you just have to take everything away from us?
No, we don't want to take everything
Okay.
away from you. We want you to be independent. We want you to be happy. But at the same time, we would like you to do the things that are contributing health to you. Like, getting your proper rest, getting your checkup, your annual checkup, your prostate. We finding a lot of men coming down with cancer. And a lot of times, like I say, because of where I sit in the professional aspect, a lot of times it's too late,
Okay.
and you find that sometimes you try to help them, and even at that point, some are still resistant.
Okay.
You can't do much for them.
Well, we're absolutely looking forward to this event, and I'd like to thank you and ladies of the King Garden Bay Baptist Church for having the fortitude to come up with the concept and help men like myself and others in the community to stay on the right track.
We hope we will know it will be a good discussion. We want it to be very interactive.
Okay.
Ask questions, feel free. The wives are welcome to come out, any person over 17 years, because we're finding a lot of our young men, not only married men, but our young men being affected as well.
Indeed, well, we look forward to it, and we'll see you there.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron.
Dr. Kedrick Pickering, welcome to our 284 Media Studios.
Thank you for having me.
The ladies of the King Garden Bay Baptist Church have felt the need to host the Man Up seminar, and you happen to be one of the keynote speakers. Tell me about what men, and some women as well, who would accompany their husbands, can expect from this seminar.
Well, first of all, let me congratulate the women of the King Garden Bay Baptist Church, and especially First Lady Marion Turnbull for this effort. From where I sit, I think that there seems to be a disconnect in our family, in our families, in our family relationships, in the whole issue of man-woman interaction, man-woman relationships. And I'll tell you something that really disturbs me at this point in my own life, and it's the divorce rate
Okay.
in this country of ours. So whatever the issues are to try and stem that tide and maybe correct it, it is extremely important. And what better way to do that than to look at our overall health and try to understand the fundamental issues surrounding our health.
Okay.
Because too often when we talk about health, we only think about our physical aspects, and health has become almost one-sided in thinking that it has to be going to the gym and looking mature
Right.
and all that. Completely wrong. And I think that this seminar will be useful for all adults, whether you're in a relationship or not, to be able to understand some of the fundamentals of your overall health.
You touched on divorce and the divorce rate. Now, that's one thing, but what role do you think mental health plays in the entire man?
Well, let's look at it from this perspective, that the World Health Organization has defined health as not just the absence of disease, that health is the complete mental, physical, social, emotional, psychological, and spiritual well-being of the individual.
Okay.
So there's no one facet that is more important than the other. And when we start chopping it up into building blocks, that is where we are losing the fight. Pastor Melvin Turnbull of the King Garden Bay Baptist Church always says that life is about balance. And anything that is disconnected from its source is going to suffer.
So we need to make sure that we're tying it all into one.
It is important to understand our overall health. You know, what makes us go, what drives us, from whence we come and from whence we are going. It's not just to say, okay, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, but what do I need to be able to maximize, my total being? That's and Pastor Mel, who's a very close friend of mine, the King Garden Bay Baptist Church, speaks about the wholesome nature of man. And that is what is critical. And I think this seminar feeds into that narrative to help us to appreciate that our health is so critical. Because I'll tell you this, that next to, the gift of Jesus Christ, our fundamental gift of life is our health.
Okay.
When you lose that,
So having it now as a holistic approach, tell me a little bit from your vantage point where you sit as a medical professional, what type of issues do you see men having at any given age?
Let's look at it back up again and look at the overall issue of health. And this is the focus that I want us to pay attention to.
Okay.
You know, there are any number of seminars that deal with prostate health and heart health and kidney health and all the various issues, and we chop it up into building blocks. I'm a specialist in obstetrics and gynecology. You know, somebody is a specialist in cardiology, and we have individual roles that we play. But for the purposes of this discussion and this seminar, we want to be able to focus on the total being so that we could feed into that rather than getting out of it. What is important is first to understand and appreciate our health as an individual, what makes us tick. There's nothing has changed since you was in school. There are 24 hours in a day. And we were taught that 8 hours for rest, 8 hours for work, and 8 hours for recreation. Nothing has changed.
Okay.
Night and day, nothing has changed. The world the earth just rotates like this, and night changes into day. If we continue to focus on the fundamental issues, we can always be able to work out the details. I think too often we make the mistake of trying to work the details into the whole. We have to keep it focused. This is what we're working towards, and this is how best to encapsulate it.
Tell me about your personal experience in balancing. At the beginning of the conversation, you mentioned in how important balance is. We've often heard the term, too much of one thing is good for nothing. How have you been able to balance career, work?
When I speak to individuals, for instance, in a professional sense, I usually say, like, one of the most important things is for you to understand, first and foremost, if you're a night person or you're a morning person. Let's start with that. And then you start to understand what makes you tick as a person. Okay? I'm a morning person. Okay?
Likewise.
If I can get to my bed by 10 o'clock at night, I'm the happiest person in the world. I don't do nights. I'm not a nightclubber. I'm not that kind of person. But 4:30 in the morning, I'm ready to go. So I feed into that. So my exercise program is fitted into my morning schedule. And then my day rolls on in that respect. I was speaking to my son the other day about some issues, and I said, you know, there's a simple saying that your main meal should be in the morning, your least important meal at night. So you eat like a king in the morning, eat like a prince for lunch, and you eat like a pauper at night.
Understand.
And too many other people switch it around and they don't eat the day and eat at night, and then you have the old problem. So things have a way of, affecting themselves, but if we keep it in balance. So you ask how I do it, that's one of the fundamental things I do. So I try to get to my bed early in the evening so that I can get up in the morning so I can do my exercise. I exercise 6 days a week, and I try to break up the exercise routine into different forms of exercise so that I can maximize the effort. I can tell you about diet and how I eat and how I don't eat, but the most important thing is that you need to eat every 4 hours. You don't run through the day and then at 6 o'clock, oh my God, I didn't even, then you start getting all sorts. Your body, what a friend of mine described as transit GI time. From you put the food in your mouth to when it comes out, takes 4 hours. So you need to eat at a minimum every 4 hours. You don't have to eat a lot, but you need to eat to be able to maximize your physiological being, to keep your body moving, to make sure that it gets the sustenance that it needs. You don't drive your car until it's empty and then you got to push it up the hill to get fuel. You make sure that it is fuel. So eating is fuel for your physical body to keep your physical body. And once you organize your time, okay, then the other things start to play because family becomes important. That's what we're going to be talking about in this seminar. Family becomes important, right? You understand that you need a social life. You understand that you need to interact with other people. You need to do things to stimulate your intellect, to make sure that your mind functions. All of that, back to the fundamental definition that the World Health Organization has put into place. It is for us to underappreciate the total man and not concentrate on one thing more than another.
Totally understand. And we're not going to give the viewers everything. We definitely want them to come out to the seminar. So we encourage all the men, and of course, the women are welcome to come to the King Garden Bay Baptist Church on May 15 at 7 p.m. for the Man Up. Manning Up in 2019 has never been more important than it is now, so we look forward to seeing you there. Dr. Pickering, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.